Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
2 seconds before Trump let out that line, the crowd in the UN General Assembly let out a laugh when he said that his administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in US history. Here's the question. Was the crowd laughing with him or were they laughing at him? I want to know your opinion, but first I want you to watch this video because I'm going to point out some nuances that you may not have seen. And you want to stick around to the end because I'm going to show a clip of Trump at a presser afterwards describing what he thought happened at the UN event. Now, if you're new to the channel, The Charisma Matrix, I teach you to get what you want out of life by developing strong social skills. And if you're not 100% confident in social situations or in the workplace, I'd invite you to download the Social Invincibility Checklist. You can touch or click up here. It's gonna solve that for you and it's completely free. Now let's dive in this video clip. We're gonna watch it in its entirety and then I'm gonna go back and break it down and we're gonna throw in some quotes and some ideas from other people. And then at the end, once again, only if you have a strong opinion, whether the crowd was with him or against him, I'm gonna ask you to let me know in the comments below. All right, let's dive in.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
All right, so let's look at what he actually did to try to squash this. So immediately, and you need to remember, the laughing from the crowd, these mics down here are very directional. So they're not picking up much sound from the crowd. So the sound you can hear from the crowd is likely a lot louder than what you're actually hearing.
Almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true.
Okay, so right here, he hears the laugh starting, so he tries to address it and he says, so true. Okay, so standing behind what he had said, and what he was hoping would happen there is it would squash the laughs. Like the laughs would end and he could continue as it goes. But unfortunately, the laughs actually get a bit louder. And he hears that now and he senses that.
Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
So he had to verbally address something there because if he hadn't said anything after that outburst of laugh, it looks weak. So what did he do? He actually used a classic reframing technique. What did he say?
Didn't expect that
reaction,
but that's okay.
But that's okay. What did he do? That's okay. He reframed it and he's the one giving the approval. Just like a teacher, an authority figure, that's okay. It's okay, right? You're the one who decides if it's okay or not. So he reframed that. Also, he continues on here, you'll see. He composes himself and then continues on and doesn't appear rattled. So that's an important thing he does as well. So what's the case for people were actually laughing with him? Okay. The US ambassador said that when he said that, they love how honest he is. It's not diplomatic and they find it funny. I mean, when he goes in, he's very truthful and they were kind of taken back by it. He's very good at knowing his audience. That was the way the US ambassador kind of spun it, okay? Now, here's Trump in his own words later that day in a presser describing what happened.
I heard a little rustle. As I said, our country is now stronger than ever before. It's true. I mean, it is true. And I heard a little rustle, and I said, it's true. And I heard smiles, and I said, oh, I didn't know there'd be that guy. They weren't laughing at me. They were laughing with me. We had fun. That was not laughing at me. So the fake news said people laughed at President Trump. They didn't laugh at me. People had a good time with me. We were doing it together. We had a good time. They respect what I've done.
So basically saying it was planned. He was actually quoted saying, oh, it was great. Well, that was meant to get some laughter, but it was great. Saying that it was almost a setup joke, like he was wanting the crowd to laugh at that. So that's the case number one, that they were laughing with him, that it was set up, it was a planned joke, everything went as it should. The other side is that the crowd was laughing at him, that they were mocking his ridiculous claims. Stephen Colbert said, don't worry, Mr. President, they're not laughing at you, they're laughing with each other at you. Now, my take on this is that Trump said afterwards, he said, quote, oh, it was great. Well, that was meant to get some laughter, but it was great, okay? So why would something be meant to get laughter if it was delivered like this? Does this look like it was meant to get laughter?
My administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country.
Does that look like it's a joke, like it's meant to get a laugh? Trump's an expert communicator. If he was trying to get a laugh, he might have delivered that differently. Also, if it was meant to get a laugh, why would he say this?
Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
So if you don't expect a laugh, then it's probably not designed to get a laugh. So that's definitely in the camp for they were laughing at him and it wasn't intended. They also had some anonymous diplomats comment in, and one of them that they recorded down said, it's not laughing at a good joke, but a nervous laugh, or a bad joke turned laughably precise because the guy who tells the joke doesn't realize how bad it is. Do you feel really strongly, one way or the other, whether they were laughing with Trump or at Trump? If so, feel free to let me know in the comments below your thoughts, and read some of the other people's comments too and let them know. Do you agree with them? Do you side on the same side as them or a different side? Do you look at it differently? It's always interesting to see that discussion. Now, if you have a question for me to break down socially, whether you have a social interaction, that you have a question about how to do it, or you want me to break down a social interaction, or any question at all, I'm answering these now in my podcast called The Charisma Matrix Social Secrets. You can go to iTunes, you go to Google Play and get it. And if you have a question for me, just hit me up on Instagram, send me a DM, and let me know your question. Once a week, I'm going to pick a question that I think is pertainable to everybody and go through and answer it then on the podcast. Have you seen these two videos right here? If not, I suggest you click there to watch them. I'll talk to you there.